You know quantum computers. You know blockchain. But do you know both together? Dynex was the first platform to create a neuromorphic supercomputing blockchain-based algorithm which solves real-world problems. And the best part? Anyone can post a job, whether a company from the Global 2000, a machine learning job, or fintech and pharmaceutical. And if you don't want to program it yourself, get an expert directly at the marketplace. Run the job and be impressed by the fast result.
Hey, we're back, baby. What's going on? Vega here for Serpent X Tech. Let me get some lights on for you so you can see me and my dark complexion. Been gone, as you can see. Obviously, there was some holiday stuff going on, and I went to CES, if you're not aware of that. Got to catch up with some content creators in the tech space, as well as see all the wonderful things out there from automotive to AI and much more. But while I was gone, you guys let the ball drop, man. I'm really disappointed. I expected better from you. You know, you let the suits take over, manipulate the market as they usually do, and yeah. So Bitcoin has fallen down to 41.6, but it's up today, obviously, over the past 24 hours, 1.79%. Dominance sitting around like 49%-ish. Ethereum went down, but, you know, it didn't go down as much as pretty much everything else. You know, it's still sitting around that 2,400 range. Got Solana down from the 110, 112 range. But some of the other tokens are doing pretty good. We got some deep greens here, like Axie. I think that's Axie Infinity Chili's. I believe this is Graph right here. Tau, don't know what Tau is, but it's $250, 5.3%. Bitten Sur, not sure. Anyways, a lot of tokens I really could care less about. No disrespect to the projects. They're probably great projects, but yeah. So the market's fallen. But before we get into today's news, because I got a lot to cover for you, well, not cover, but just a couple things to go over with you, right? We're going to talk about Bitcoin, the dip, a little bit of good information. There's an article that I would challenge you to read once you're done driving, or whatever you're doing. I would challenge you to read. I'm going to leave it in the description. I haven't added it yet, but I will leave it in the description, so hang tight. You know, is there any news on the ETF? Probably. JP Morgan, and then don't forget that we got a poker tournament later today. So in a few hours from now, time of recording or live streaming, we got the Neoxa community poker tournament. We do these tournaments on a regular basis, maybe every few months, hosted by Yashnik. We've been doing this for a long time. It's a chance for you, the user, to come participate. PokerStars is free to play. You could just log in and get free chips. You do need 20K chips already, so if you haven't been playing PokerStars and logging in and getting your free 15,000 chips, then you might not have enough to enter. The Google Docs, I'm going to add it into the description right now. But you can win some prizes, okay? Look at this. First prize. First place gets 100,000 Neoxa and a Neoxa hoodie. Second place, 50,000. Third place, 25,000. And then it goes all the way down from 11th to 30th. So a lot of people are going to get some Neoxa just by knocking out some of the content creators in the crypto mining space, right? There's content creators all over the world. There's various revisions or genres that they're in. And I am one of them. Come knock me out. But beware, there are sharks in here. And you might get ate up. But I know you yourself are a shark, because some of you have gotten me and ripped me alive. So come get some damn chips. Come play. Google Docs, link down in the description. Neoxa posted it on Twitter. I reposted it. People have been talking about this. A lot of content creators have been talking about this for quite a while. So if you don't know, now you know. You need to get in here, have some fun. Let's rock and roll. But besides that, looking at Bitcoin over time, right? I want to look at Bitcoin with you basically over the past the beginning of the year is basically what I want to break it down to. I'm adding the Google Docs to the description right now. Bear with me. Let's see here. Does Neoxa have a YouTube? No, they don't. All right. So Neoxa poker tourney. And I probably spelt that wrong, but I don't care. There you go. What's up, Crypto Macau and everybody that came over from over there? Appreciate you stopping by. So Bitcoin since the turn of the year. Let's go to December 31st. So December 31st, you know, we ranged between basically 41.95, so basically 41,950, all the way up that day to about 42,800. Okay, and then the following day, the first, look at this giant, not giant candle. I've seen bigger. That's what she said. But you know, we went from 24,100 something up to almost 44,400, and the next day we climbed up again. Then we dipped back down. Right? We put in a newer low, considering the time frame over December, hitting 40,800, and then we started pushing back up again. Hit a high, or a recent high, or at least a yearly high of 48, almost 49K. And then, of course, you know, as I'm getting ready to come back home, this motherfucker just drops like a rock. 46,000 all the way down to the mid-range of 41,000. And then we dipped lower this week, hitting back into the 40,000s. And, you know, can we sustain that? Well, it's turned a major resistance into support now. But if we continually hit this marker, or this line of support, we could wind up falling through. So while the news media, and I do mean the news media, so the major outlets out there are going to position this as the ETF is a failure, it's really just manipulation at its finest. A lot of OTC, backhanded bull crap, talk trash about it to the people publicly, in the back end, buying it all up as much as possible. But the problem that they have is that the amount of Bitcoin they actually want isn't available on the traditional markets. It's not. And even OTC, it's not available for them to gobble up. And I know they want it. They know they want it. You know they want it. So because it's being held off of these exchanges and on our wallets, they're going to have to be like smart and accumulate over time. And we're going to see these dips, and it's a healthy retracement, right? If we scroll back here and we look at the daily, I mean, you know, since basically, let's just go all the way back to here, right? So since January 2023, we have been on a steady upward trend. Now, yes, there were some pullbacks, there was some craziness, but that is a fucking 193% gain since January of last year, okay? We got the halving coming up. You know, the ETF's approved. There's a lot of inflows, right? It takes time for those inflows or for things to happen, right? It's approved. Hey, let me study up on it. I'm going to call my clients. My clients want to allocate 1%, 5%, 8% into Bitcoin. It takes time to educate the brokers or the individuals that have these clients, and then for those individuals to educate their clients, and then their clients to actually be like, you know what, I really do want to allocate some. Let's go ahead and convert some of my assets, maybe some properties, maybe some gold into Bitcoin, but I'm going to maintain a large position of whatever their favorite asset class is. So it's going to take time, and a healthy retracement is never a bad thing. Now, if we did pull back, if we did fall down past this range, right? So I'm looking at, you know, 41 being where we are now. So we're at 41.6. So 41.1 is where this line is at for me, and it could be wrong, right? I'm not a TA expert. There's a lot of great content creators out there that do better. But if we fell down, you know, past 40K, I suspect we'll have a little bit of support around that 38K range. And then looking, like you see, I'm drawing a line kind of sideways. I'm not going straight down. You know, then 35K. And then, you know, the purple's a legacy line, 31.6. And then this super legacy, 25K. You know, I do have a position in at 27K to buy some Bitcoin. Do I think it's going to go back to that? Probably not, dude. I'm just going to be honest with you. Probably not. Nothing I say is financial advice, but if you just look at the math, you look at the trends, you look at the charts, you get a firm understanding of, okay, well, what is most likely to happen, right? Right now would be probably a smart decision for me, not for you, to reset my algo bots that are trading a range and reset it, right? Because we're at the bottom of this range. Now, we could pump back up and bounce between the 46 and 41K range for a little bit, but we could also fall out of it. So I reset my bots and then I take an L. So I'm kind of on the fence myself, but I do let my bots just, it's only microtransactions, but I talked about it in the past, you know, using 3 commas and another one to basically try to take my mining earnings, a portion of it, not a lot, not all of it, and try to convert it and make it into more earnings, more assets, right? I want more Bitcoin. I want more ADA. I want more whatever. I don't have any injective. I wish I would have picked some up earlier because that looked pretty good and stuff like that, and it's being built on. But let me give you a tip, actually. If you're paying attention, I know most of you are driving. I'll check live chat here in just a second. If you're trying to get my attention or send a super chat, please, because I like to just flow through the news and then I interact with you. I know a lot of people want interaction, but well, many of you drive while listening to me, or doing other stuff while listening to me, and I appreciate that. But anyways, my tip, again, not financial advice, is you're seeing. Oh, I lost my battery. Hang on. My bad. I forgot that I unplugged it a while ago, and I forgot to plug it back in. Right when I was gonna say my tip, Bob Slam it. There we go. Come on, baby, come back to me. You guys can still hear me. I know you can. I know you can. There you go. All right. So my tip. I forgot to plug my thing in because I've been charging other stuff. Anyways, a lot of these coins, Solana, for example, that's an entire ecosystem, right? So that ecosystem was growing exponentially because of Bonk, and then people started building on it, and it's cheaper to create a token on Solana, and the fees, yada, 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 fast transaction, TPS, whatever. My tip is look at the different coins and their ecosystem. Cosmos, for example. Cosmos is a token I liked for quite a while, and we're seeing more and more development on it. We got the DYDX on it. Avalanche, Optimism, Ethereum obviously is a big one. Binance or BNB on the Binance Smart Chain. Look at those tokens that have their token, but then there's an ecosystem. How's the growth of that ecosystem? What's the TVL or total value locked? And see if those are plays, right? Because everything is a risk. See if those are plays that you're interested in looking at. Just putting that out there. Anyways, saying hello to everybody in the live chat real quick. What's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by while you're driving. Got a 2-hour drive. Drive safely. He's getting 930/70s. Hell yeah. Son of Rabbit Panda. Let's see here. $235 each for 3070. Whoa, wait a second. What are they going for right now? I might get me some. Actually, I need to sell some stuff. I'm broke. Yeah, okay. Buy now. Sort by lowest first. Probably going to be fixed. Parts only. Parts only. Parts only. Parts only. Pre-owned. All right. So pre-owned is starting around $300. So you got $235. That's a pretty damn good deal. Good job on that, bud. Good job on that. So, and PSU, all PSU motherboards and 2 frames included. That's good stuff. Retro Mike, what's up, buddy? I hope to see you again in the future. I crashed the market for you. You're welcome. Appreciate you doing that so I could buy some at a low. What's going on? Crypto Pounder 4, Automatic Beats, John Germain, Chris Hanley, Neomorphous, Crypto McKell, B-Loves. She always said that. Got him. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to get loud there. Chuck Danger. What else we got here? Crypto Craig. I'm not sure if I already said that. Gundy. What's up, Gundy? See you guys for poker here in a little bit. Chuck Danger 87. Golden Wolf. Scott Sheffield. And Techman TY. Always lurking, cleaning up around. What's up, Red Panda? Appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you in a little bit. We'll redirect over to you. All right. So anyways, let's go on back over here. So Bitcoin price falls below 41K. A spot ETF finished 5th day of trading. Obviously, the price declined below 41,000 since December as the newly approved spot ETFs finished their 5th day of trading. The price of the world's largest cryptocurrency market capitalization has fallen 3.9% over the past 24 hours, hitting 40,951 by 4:31 p.m. Thursday's decline came as JP Morgan analysts led by Nicholas whatever said that Bitcoin's price could face additional downward pressure in the coming weeks if investors in Greyscale spot Bitcoin ETF, which was a conversion from its flagship GBTC fund. GBTC saw 450 million in outflows on January 17th, according to the Blocks Data's dashboard. Cumulative outflows were at least 1.6 billion before Thursday, according to the data. Ending their 5th day, Grayscale volume, ending their 5th day, the cumulative trading total of all spot coin Bitcoin ETFs were 13.7 billion, with funds totaling 1.9 billion changing hands on Thursday. Of that, 976 million of flows stem from Grayscale's fund, which has accounted for about 50% of volume since the new product started trading last week. Amid the rising volatility, Bitcoin long liquidations totaled 28 million over the past hour, while short liquidations totaled 4 million, according to the crypto derivative platform. Obviously, we pulled back, so those longs and those positions were squeezed. So yeah, things are moving around. It's gonna take time. I'm not concerned in the least. Bitcoin drops to the lowest level since approval of ETFs. Bloomberg, of course, making me want to pay for trying to make me pay for stuff, but I'm not going to do it. That's just another title to throw out there. Bitcoin miners enter 482 million buying spree amid BTC price slump. Bitcoin price dipped to a 40-day low of 40,700 on January 19th. Today is the 20th at time of filming. Since the much anticipated ETF, BTC has delivered sideways performance, another sell-off wave on January 19th. On January 19th, though, the Bitcoin price tumbled, blah, blah, blah. However, on-chain data shows trends that reveal that the bullish miners swooped in to defend the vital 40K support level. CryptoQuant miner reserves metric shows that many balances were currently held in wallets controlled by recognized mining farms and pools. The chart below shows that Bitcoin miners increased their reserves by 12,058 BTC on January 19th alone. So the miners swooping in. Whoa! If this drops and these miners, by the way, I just want you to know, right? When we're talking about mid-scale, large-scale operations, there's a certain precipice or there's a certain area that if Bitcoin drops below this, we are no longer profitable, right? Because of their electric rate. 9 times out of 10, they got a better electric rate than you and I by 3-fold, 4-fold, 5-fold. But if it drops to a certain point, they're not profitable anymore. So if they can swoop in, stabilize the price, then they stem the tide for a little bit longer, giving them, more time to allocate. Plus, if they just gather up more Bitcoin because people are silly enough to sell it, then yeah, that's just it's just going to increase their position a little bit further as Bitcoin continues to go on. Because as many of us already know, blockchain is most certainly not going anywhere. Bitcoin is most certainly not going anywhere. Why did it zoom in like that? That was weird. Hang on, let me refresh this. There we go. That was really weird. So anyways, miners are influential stakeholders of any proof of work cryptocurrency ecosystem. A significant buying trend among the miners could short retail investors' confidence and avert a panic sell-off, which worked. Furthermore, bullish traders in Bitcoin derivatives markets also appear to keep up their optimism amid Bitcoin price slump. By noon Eastern trading hours on January 19, BTC price had tumbled 7% within the daily time frame. The BTC open interest has held up firmly, barely shedding 2% as it moved from 18.5 billion to 18 billion. So lost 0.5 billion. This alignment suggests widespread long covering maneuvers among derivative traders. Now, in case you don't know, open interest tracks the real-time value of all active derivatives contracts for crypto asset. When open interest holds up steady during the price slump, as observed above, it suggests that the traders holding long contracts are doubling down on their positions in the hopes of a quick rebound in the spot markets. Rather than close out their positions as BTC price dips, the trading data shows that Bitcoin miners are bullish, and bullish derivative traders has swooped in, investing millions to defend their position, that 40K line, right? Hold the line. 300, Gladiator, whatever reference you want to throw out there. But BTC price forecast, can Bitcoin stay above 40K? Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, if we continue to hit that line of resistance, and I don't know why this website keeps doing that, but if we continue to hit this line of resistance, that turns support, we could fall through. We could easily fall through. What happens when you keep, you put a lot of weight on ice, right? So we got a frozen lake or frozen waterway, not a river, right? Because usually rivers that are moving won't freeze, but they can if it's cold enough. But anyways, let's say we got still water. It's frozen over. It's about yay thick. What happens when we put a lot of weight on it? Well, we're going to fall through. So you want to spread your weight out, right? But if we keep hitting, if we keep that spread weight out, but we kind of focal the point on which that weight is being placed, slowly but surely cracks will form and then we will fall through. So can it hold? I believe it will, but I'm just a guy on the internet. You can say you believe it will, but you're just a guy or a girl or a non-binary that just believes in Bitcoin long term, but it can most certainly fall. It can most certainly fall. So what do we do in times like this of uncertainty? Well, I'm positive on Bitcoin, but I don't know if it's going to hold this level or fall. So what I'm going to do is a lot of people, what they do is they move their funds into a stable coin or a USD, a fiat value, see what the price does, and then either buy back in when it dips or maintain their position and wait for the next dip. The problem with that is if you trade to a different asset and you're waiting for a certain metric or level to be hit, that level might not come. You might, and this always happens to me, by the way, I hate this. Every time I say, if you want me to pump the price, I will. Every time I sell a coin, which I just did sell a little bit of Bitcoin, which I don't like doing. I like to sell my other assets, not Bitcoin, but I had to cover bills, right? And it's unfortunate. I hate it. I really do. I'm kicking myself in the rear. But every time I sell something, the price goes up. So I sold at the almost 40,800 range. So right about here, 40,743. And look, it already went up. So there you go. That little pump right there, that's all me. Because every time I sell an asset or a token, the price pumps. I don't know why, but it always works out that way. But the advice that's non-financial that I would share with my family and friends, not to you, just saying it openly, is, if you trade into a stable coin or fiat, waiting for, because the price might dip back down and then you can buy back in or whatever, you'll miss your boat. So just dollar cost average, continue to accumulate what you can if you can afford to do it. Not everybody can. And then go from there, right? Moving on, crypto bulls lose 217 million amid concern about Greyscale outflows. The Greyscale outflows was mentioned in the previous article because there's been a lot, right? As future traders betting on higher crypto prices saw some 217 million in liquidations in the past 24 hours as the approval of the the Bitcoin ETF. Funds continue to be a seldom news event, which is kind of true. What's up, Rud Puts? Thank you for being a techie, a member of the channel for 11 months. Really appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, the outflows probably are concerning to some of these traders. To me, it's not. I think it's just people just reallocating or it's like, why would I want to buy the ETF when I can buy the real thing? And I know the ETF still has tangible benefits. But maybe they're just reallocating. They're letting it go under Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, but then they're, moving it to whatever else is offered. I'm not a financial expert when it comes to ETFs. You guys are better than I am. But concerned that crypto fund manager Greyscale is selling some of his Bitcoin as owners of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust remove money from the ETF contribute to a drop in prices. Verified wallets belonging to Grayscale tracked and labeled by analyst firm Arkham show that the fund moved over 400 million worth of Bitcoin to custodian Coinbase Prime on Thursday, potentially a step toward an eventual sale, right? Bloomberg intelligence analysts, and that is a problem, right? That's $400 million worth of Bitcoin that either was sold or could be sold. When was this article written? Yesterday. Yesterday, late last night. The 19th is right here. So maybe it hasn't been sold yet. I don't know. We'll have to see. But that is a slight problem. And here's a sheet here. What is this showing us? Normally with the hype up launch, you see volume steadily decrease each day post launch. Rare to see it reverse back up. All but one saw a jump too, but GBTC changed flat, so it wasn't as volatile. Okay, so we had a jump on others, but then we had Greyscale drop. On the not so good sign front, GPTC discounts has also reversed the wrong way, back up to 96 BPS, likely due to selling pressure, but who knew? We'll see. We will see in the flows eventually. Okay, Bitcoin fell, blah, blah, blah. BNB changed. BNB outperformed the market by 0.6%, yada, yada, yada. Liquidations occurred, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, it's the same thing we mentioned in the first article. Same damn thing. So, outflows, you know, the selling pressure, pull the price back. There's 400 million ready to be sold off of Coinbase. A lot of OTC happening, and a lot of these investors are going to gobble up as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, but unfortunately there's not enough to meet the demand, which is a positive thing, right? Because it's a supply and demand situation, right? If there's not enough supply but the demand is high, that should bring the price up, but we can trade OTC and not change or affect the price at all. Like you and I right now, if I wanted Retro Mike to work with me and be like, hey, give me 40,000 Bitcoin, I'll pay you XYZ, and they agree on the price, I could just send it to him and he just sends me the relevant price ratio for whatever asset I want, right? USDC, USDT, Ethereum, whatever. And that would not affect the price, not unless we had to buy XYZ and then send it. So, I'm going to see, how do you track OTC? Is OTC tracked on exchanges? That's a good question. Is OTC Bitcoin tracked? Outgoing transactions. Glassnode. So somebody is. Of course I can't see it because I got to sign up. I'm sure it is somewhere. Yeah, it's just to facilitate trades between two parties without revealing the trade information. But one metric that often garners attention is the crypto space, the balance of Bitcoin held in addresses tied to OTC counterdesk. It obviously is, because once you know the wallet address for those OTC desks, you can kind of track it or keep an eye on it. But I'm very curious of how that's going to work out, right? What are supply and demand zones, and how do we use them in crypto trading? This is the article I was saying that I would challenge you later on to go and check out when you're not driving or doing anything important. I'm putting that in the description right now. I'm not going to go through it in great detail. It's already 11:30, but I would challenge you to check it out as we get ready for the Neoxa crypto poker tournament. All right, so you guys been talking quickly amongst each other. Red Panda's banning people. Why won't Pico work on the motherboard? Talking to each other again. Okay, so everybody's just talking to each other. Hey, Golden Wolf, good morning from Seattle, USA, 8:30 a.m. Thank you for watching early in the morning. And hello, all the way from the East Coast. Appreciate you. All right. So we know what supply and demand is, but if you don't, what is supply and demand in crypto trading? And they also talk about the different demand zones, impulse waves, so on and so forth. It's not a Bible. And sometimes I would urge caution with Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and a number of crypto news media, because sometimes their articles, we've called it out before in the past, are not as accurate, or if so, they're providing misinformation because they didn't do their research properly. But it is a good firm understanding to understand those, the supply and demand overall, the structure, and it just provides so much great detail. So check that out. Link is in the description, please. please educate yourself. Moving on, federal judge grills Coinbase, SEC on whether digital assets are securities. I believe cryptocurrencies were referred to as beanie babies at some point in time. We might come back to watch this video. I'm moving on to chain analysis reveals decline in crypto crime, shift to stablecoins in 2024 crime report. So the whole mindset, especially when Elizabeth Warren and Jamie Dimon went on, like in the courtroom or whatever they were, and they were kind of touting the horn that crypto is used for illicit activities, drug trafficking, human trafficking, this, that, and the other. And lo and behold, chain analysis shows a decline in crypto crime. And if crime were to happen, it's more of a shift to stable coins, right? And the US dollar, or I'm not going to even say the US dollar, fiat is more popular for illicit activities than anything else. But anyways, according to chain analysis, the total volume received by illicit cryptocurrency addresses in 2023 fell to 24.2 billion. Now, it's not a small amount whatsoever. It is down, but it's not a small amount, marking considerable decrease compared to previous years. This figure, however, is an underestimation and expect to rise as more illicit addresses are uncovered, right? Because not all addresses are known, right? And what's funny is I've been seeing a trend in the same trend that we see with projects on bigger chains, proof of stake chains or non-proof of work chains, where it's an airdrop this or you won this and do this and all that good stuff. And matter of fact, there's a whole different video on a different, not crime, but it's a scam that I'm probably going to do in the future as I continue to see more and more of it and how you can better protect yourself to spot it. But that trend of creating a token, pumping it up, getting some influencers to hype it up, and Zach XBT called this out as well on Twitter, and then dumping that bag, and then the you or I are left holding a bag of nothing because its valuation is shit. That same thing has come over to proof of work, and it's become more and more apparent as different coins come online. Proof of work coins come online. The only difference is the amount of money that these individuals are making by creating a new proof of work coin, letting it show up on the charts. People start spec mining it, and then they dump it right when a number of exchanges pick it up and yada yada yada, and then they just move on to the next coin, because the amount of money those individuals are making off of that copy paste, change the name, change the supply, let it get a foothold, spec miners get on it, people start actually trading it because the lesser exchanges or the D tier exchanges pick it up, dumping it, and then moving on. Doesn't draw the attention of the media, right? There's not people crying loud enough, but it does impact. If you and I lost thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, the money that we can't afford to lose, right? We were mining because we need to pay our electricity bill or whatever, cover our overhead, and now that spec coin that we were mining, hoping that we could sell, right? And a lot of people do sell as soon as they mine it, right? I understand that, and I understand why you do that. Or some people mine it, and if it's available for like unmineable, nice hash or whatever, to where it's instantly swapped Zerg pool to a different asset, then you're not too concerned about spec mining. But the trend is what's annoying me, is because it's not big enough to get the attention of media so people can cry out, but it is something that's becoming more and more apparent. And it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Compared to the early days of crypto mining, if you were around, I just feel like it's not accountability. There's no, we were all like, yeah, the 1%, the government screwed us over, the financial system screwed us over. Let's band together. Let's do it together. Hey, let's work together. Let's build together. Is more like, okay, well, I'm going to build my ecosystem. I'm going to step on whoever I need to make mine better than yours. And then I'm just going to take advantage of idiots that pump my bags and dippity-doo-dah on them. And then just start a new token or a new coin or a new project or a new whatever. It's just, like the morals. I think that's what it is. The moral compass of the world is degraded. quite drastically from when I was younger to now, and it just sucks. But either way, what is this talking about? Other key, blah blah blah. So, anyways, yeah, the chain analysis shows a decline in crypto crime. Whatever. Now, Jamie Dimon says he's done talking about crypto, but calls blockchain real. Of course, the tune changes as, you know, the heat comes on, so to speak. You know, when Jamie Dimon said what he said in front of Elizabeth Warren in media and in the courtroom, or whatever meeting, you know, blockchain is real, right? Blockchain isn't going anywhere. Maybe crypto itself might be diminished, but it's only diminished because there's 2 million freaking crap coins out there, right? 2 million plus crap coins. Maybe not all. Let's say out of 2 million, maybe 100,000 is legit good, you know, building a positive network, building something that's tangible that can benefit the world, so on and so forth. But most of them are crap. But blockchain is real, says Jamie Dimon. I wonder how long this one is. Let's take a look. There's probably gonna be an ad that plays real quick, so let me mute this tab. But it's funny how people change their tunes so quickly. Or not, he's not changing his tune. He's still saying crypto and his stuff is bad. And I think he made a comment the other day on a different program about it, but we'll see. Let me mute my headset or my mic.
He's done talking about crypto. The SEC and Coinbase face off in federal court. And the managing director at CoinDesk Indices breaks down what's behind crypto's price moves in the days after spot Bitcoin ETFs launched in the US.
Real quick, Red Panda says in a live chat, Serpent, too many crypto miners are now in it for the money. And that is 100% true. And I understand that and I respect that to be your decision. I've been in crypto for many years and it's been in it because I love it. I enjoy it. It's a hobby for me. I am passionate about the technology. I am passionate about understanding the technology or the underlying technology. I am passionate about the hobby, maintaining my equipment so that way it can hash away and help secure the network, help validate transactions, help improve somebody's quality of life, right? For example, if I want to send money to somebody in Africa that doesn't have they have some type of cellular connection, but they might not have broadband or fiber, or you know, they're living off of their land and they're not doing too well, that I can send money to that individual as long as they can get internet connection through cellular or through Starlink or through whatever and improve their quality of life. That's a benefit to me. There's no borders. There's no nothing. I could send to wherever as long as I got your address and we are good to go. And we can talk to each other that way. And there's some chains on there like Conceal or Nostra where we can actually send messages and stuff like that over a decentralized network, because Nostra's on you know what I mean. I think I'm saying it wrong anyways. But miners are in it for money. More miners are in it for money. Not all miners. More miners are in it for money. And it's not a bad thing to do. I understand instantly taking that money you mined today or this hour and converting it. I completely understand that, right? But if you're not in it with good intentions and a good heart, and maybe you believe in the project, or maybe you think that the goals that the project has and that they're working hard towards, and the developers are sound-minded, and you're just mining it just to mine it for the sake of mining it because it shows dollar signs, that greed can oftentimes lead you astray. That greed and that hunger for more and more money can lead you down a dark path, right? I know a lot of people are not religious, but the love of money is the root of all evil, right? My mom raised me that way, and while I know I need money for this world that we're in, that is not my drive. My drive is to interact with you. My drive is to share my data with you. And then you're like, Vega, no, do this overclock and do that, and then do this and then try this and add more airflow and try that and try, and we communicate with one another. And that tinkering and that figuring out how this finite thing works and how it can benefit all of us is what I fucking love, guys. So I respect everybody's decision to mine for money and flip it and do all this and that. But yeah, it's kind of muddying the waters a little bit. So slow down on your greed a little bit. If you are going to be greedy privately. but you should be in it for more than just money, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. You can argue your opinion. I will respect. I would agree. I might have some counter arguments or disagreements, but there's nothing wrong with your opinion, your thought process whatsoever. I completely agree. I'm in a financial position to where I can mine and hodl my tokens. Some percentages I sell, some percentages I trade, and some percentages I automated trading, right? But that's because I'm in that position. You might not be. You're like, yo, I need this money right now because I got to pay bills. I respect it 100%.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Major cryptocurrencies are giving back yesterday's gains, with Bitcoin dropping more than 2% by noon Eastern. It fell back to the $42,000 level. Ether also in the red. It fell more than 1.5%. And Chainlink, meanwhile, a bright spot for crypto this morning. It rose more than 3.5% to 1576. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Bitcoin miner Core Scientific is marching ahead with its plan to exit bankruptcy. The company announced on Tuesday that a U.S. court had confirmed its restructuring plan, which would help it exit bankruptcy and relist shares on the NASDAQ by the end of January. Core said the plan means existing shareholders would get shares in the new common stock. It would also see the company's existing debt paid down entirely. Core Scientific will be exiting bankruptcy just weeks ahead of the halving, which is set to ramp up the pressure on mining companies as mining rewards get cut in half. Next, the SEC and Coinbase are set to face off in federal court over whether the agency's lawsuit against the company can move forward. The Southern District of New York set aside 4 hours, divided equally, for the two sides to make their case on whether Coinbase's business model is breaking U.S. securities laws. Coinbase is hoping to get the case dismissed based on its belief that the SEC is overreaching. The agency, on the other hand, still believes Coinbase allowed the trading of more than a dozen crypto tokens that should have been registered as securities, and that Coinbase's staking program should have registered with the agency. And finally, CNBC is on the ground at the World Economic Forum in Davos and caught up with JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon. He's long been a critic of most crypto, and now he says he's tired of talking about it, but still sees the potential of blockchain.
This is the last time I've ever talked about this in CNBC, okay? So help me God. Blockchain is real, it's a technology. We use it, it's gonna move money, it's gonna move data, it's efficient. We've been talking about that for 12 years too, and it's very small, okay? So I think we've wasted too many words in that. Cryptocurrencies, there are two types. There's a cryptocurrency which might actually do something. Think of a cryptocurrency as an embedded smart contract in it, and that we can use it to buy and sell real estate and move data. That may have value. And then there's one which does nothing. I call it the pet rock, the Bitcoin or something like that. And so on the Bitcoin, there's first.
Time out. Flag on the field, challenge flag. Bitcoin is not the same as a meme token or whatever pet rock he is talking about. I don't care. If he's been in the market a lot longer, he's a financial expert. He knows this. He's a great guy. He's got super intelligence. I don't care. Bitcoin is not a pet rock, and it is nowhere near to be compared with a meme token or a token that does nothing. Bitcoin does more than nothing. Bitcoin is what started this. Yes, it doesn't have as great interoperability as some of the networks. Yes, it may not have the greatest transaction speed or the amount of transactions that can be done per second and so on and so forth, but it is not a meme token or a pet rock or a token that does nothing. He is incorrect about that, period.
And I'm not trying to make a joke here. There are use cases, AML, fraud, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, sex trafficking. Those are real use cases, and you see it being used for hundreds, maybe 50, $100 billion a year for that. That is the end use case. Everything else is people train among themselves.
The end use case isn't just crime, by the way. I just want you to know that. Just to give you a little insight, I'm not obviously going to give you the information or address or anything, but there was a transaction I had between myself and a fellow colleague, great individual who cares about crypto just as much as I do, and they paid me in Bitcoin, and I provided them a service. Transaction done. Done. Does the government need to know what hand I wipe my ass with? No. So this is just one tool. Now, if they know my address, then yeah, they can figure it out. I mean, not my physical address, but my they can tie my Bitcoin address to my physical address or to my identity in general, which there's a lot of identity tokens, by the way. That's another one that keep an eye on. There's a lot of tokens coming out about digital identity. Be careful with those, but I believe some of those might pop off. So if you are in it for the money, then you might want to look at some of those. And again, my previous tip is look at the various tokens for various chains, right? So Optimism, Avalanche, Cosmos, so on and so forth. Not just the top chains like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, as there might be some profitability in there for you. Not financial advice, I'm just saying might be, okay? All right, now let's go back to the other video where federal judge grills Coinbase and SEC. But before we do that, why don't we go to what happened? Did you guys see me at CES? You guys watch my CES coverage? Some of it? I know it wasn't as grand as some of our favorite tech tubers and stuff like that, but it was just good to be around them, talk to them, meet them, shake their hand. And Paul I've known for a long time. Paul's Hardware. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but on my regular account, because I do have two accounts. I have my SerpentX Tech, straight crypto, primarily crypto and tech. And then my CMV Jacks, which is just tech and automotive and sometimes NFL. It's just my personal Twitter to where I can go and be myself without being concerned about a sponsorship or prospective partner dropping me because I chose the Eagles over their team or whatever. Which, by the way, I didn't choose the Eagles. I'm just giving an example. But I talked to Paul during the GPU crisis, is what it was referred to, right? When Ethereum mining was at its greatest, we were all profitable. Everybody was looking good. Before it switched to proof of stake, you know, GPUs were hard to come by. Gamers were very upset. We were getting torched and pitchforks thrown at us. I was informing Paul about who he should keep track of what's going on with Ethereum, because I believe there was a video where him and Jay's 2 cents even provided misinformation again on Ethereum because they were talking about the upcoming switch to proof of stake and yada, yada, yada. And I was trying to keep them informed of where we were, who to actually follow and who to actually listen to, because there's a lot of misinformation about gas fees and when the transition was going to happen and this, that, and the other thing. And so Paul and I grew into a relationship. I've been talking to Gamers Nexus Steve, but he's grown so big now that I can't keep in touch with him like that anymore. He has a team in front of him that obviously screens out all the trash and stuff like that, because I'm sure as these content creators get bigger, it becomes harder to actually reach them. Red Panda knows that all too well. But the hard part is I want to maintain a relationship with my peers and my colleagues in the space, not just crypto, because I'm not just about crypto. I'm about tech. You know, it becomes harder if you don't have that direct line of communication. What you used to have, whether it was Discord, DMs and Twitter or whatever, becomes harder as they become bigger. So then you need to switch to the direct phone number and so on and so forth. But either way, Paul and I caught up and it was great. And we featured the Claw. And the Claw was actually very nice. Out of all the devices, because I have a Steam Deck and I was able to play around with the Asus. I forgot the name of the Asus one. I was able to play around with the Asus one, the Steam Deck, the Lenovo Legion one, and the Claw. And out of all of those devices, this one is the most ergonomic. This one feels the most comfortable in my hands to where I can access and play the buttons and do everything I need to. But I'm going to play this video for you real quick. Let me know what your thoughts are. Yes, we're switching from crypto to tech, but crypto is tech, baby. Blockchain is tech. They're going to be merged one day. Doesn't matter.
Hands-on gameplay time. This is being assisted by my friend Chris Vega. And we're playing Assassin's Creed Mirage on the new MSI Claw. Gaming handhelds have, I think, gained a lot of popularity, especially PC-based ones, especially since...
By the way, in case you didn't know, I'm Chris Vega. That's my name. It's always been public. You always see my face. It doesn't matter.
Steam launched the Steam Deck, so it's cool to see more variety here. And initial feedback on the Claw has actually been quite positive. To give you guys a rundown of the specs, it's using an Intel Core Ultra 7 155H processor. It runs Windows 11 Home natively. Windows 11 Pro is also available. and it's using art graphics with XESS super sampling, and that is why with essentially a mobile processor, you're able to push decent frame rates even at full HD 1920 by 1080, which is what the 7-inch screen supports. Also 120 hertz refresh rate, qualities as IPS, but it's not just about the processor and the screen, there's also the housing around it. As you can see, they have plenty of ventilation on the back. It does have active cooling, and it has what they're calling an ergonomic design, which seems to be fairly comfortable. Seems to have the bumper paddles in the right position for controls. You got a thumbstick on both sides. You have a D-pad over on the left. There are supplemental.
And he's probably one of the most down-to-earth people I ever met. Like, he's got almost 1.5 million subscribers, but he's just a regular guy. He's got a family to take care of. He enjoys tech. He's been doing this for a long time, since before Newegg days, and his channel has grown. It may not have grown as explosive as Linus Tech Tips and some of the other big guys, but he's just a down-to-earth person. You don't have to fight to get near him. It's actually, he's just a regular guy, and Joe's a regular guy too. Hopefully they can get their PC working, their $10,000 editing rig that they built for Joe working. I knew it wasn't working before it came out on YouTube publicly, but hopefully they can get it working. Some insider information, it might have been ESD during their trip to Vegas, and stuff like that. The motherboard just doesn't want to kick on. They might have to replace the motherboard, and they're going to try a different motherboard. But we'll see how things go in the long run. But, I mean, that's a stout editing rig for Joe that should last for the years. And Retro Mike, thank you for the $2, by the way. I appreciate you. And no, I know I'm not your favorite tech tuber. I know there's plenty of other great tech tubers out there that do a pretty damn good job, right? Like, I like Gamers Nexus because they're very analytical, hardware unbox, Hardware Canucks, Paul's Hardware, Bitwit when he does it every once in a while. I miss Brian, Jay's 2 cents, Linus Tech Tips, certain ones, right? Like sometimes there's a situation that I disagree with, but I always go back again for the data. I'm very data driven, analytical and stuff like that. So anyways, I got the Vanna White for Paul. We got to hang out, spend some time, do some pretty cool stuff together. And just having a moment of his time, and getting him to know me better, just highlighted my trip. I bumped into Jake from Linus Tech Tips as well, JJ from Asus. I didn't see Linus or DeBauer. They were all in the private suites when I was down on the floor, but it was fun, right? I want to go back to CES again next year, maybe do a better job, maybe have more of a sit down with some people. But yeah, crypto is tech and tech is crypto. I know a lot of you come to my channel just for crypto and crypto mining specifically. But I need to expand my horizons if I want this to grow. My 9-to-5 job is screwing me right now. I don't think it's going to get any better. And I need to figure out how I can turn this and what I do, my passions, into enough revenue to support and sustain my family, or at least make up for the job that I currently have before I can let it go. So we'll see how things pan off, but I thank you for your support. It was only a couple hundred views on those videos, but I'm still going to keep pumping out content Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then doing my streams on Saturday. I'm sorry that I missed the past 2 Saturday streams, but I thank you all for your continued support and stuff like that. We're getting ready for Red Panda Mining Dough here in a little bit. I believe he is going live. He's got some CPU mining rigs to set up. Setting up a couple of 5950X CPU mining rigs live, part 1. So we'll be seeing that here shortly, followed by Rabid Panda and stuff like that. So, and then after that, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got the poker tournament, the Neoxa poker tournament. Come check it out. Come hang out with us. Appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you there. You come win some cool prizes. Come knock us out and win some bounties. So not only do you make money off of knocking us out, about 5,000 Neoxa, but if you come 30th or above, you can win some more Neoxa. So just an opportunity for you to have fun with us. There will be a live stream. I believe the live stream is going to be on my buddy Crypto Mikkel's channel, maybe DCA or somewhere out there. I'll get the link and I'll reshare it. Once I get it. Actually, is this it right here? Yes, it is. So there it is. I'm going to drop the link right now in the live chat where you can watch us live. And if you are playing and you watch the live stream, maybe you'll be able to cheat and see what the other person you're going against hands is. Just a little FYI there, just a little tip for you. But that's pretty much going to do it for today's stream. I'm going to keep rocking and rolling until Red Panda goes live. But we're going to play this video here where the federal judge grills Coinbase, SEC on whether digital assets are securities. So let's see what they said as we chill out until Red Panda mining goes live.
Research reveals cybercriminals are continuing to ditch Bitcoin for stablecoins. Coinbase and the SEC get grilled by a federal judge as the agency's lawsuit against the crypto company heads to court. And Valkyrie's chief investment officer weighs in on why Bitcoin is in the red following the launch of spot ETFs in the U.S. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Crypto prices in the red. Unfortunately, both sides will have to wait for an answer. According to Reuters, after grilling both parties on the legal precedent for securities and crypto tokens during the 4-hour hearing, the judge said she was still weighing some questions before coming to a decision. The case has been closely watched by the crypto industry to understand just how much power the SEC has to regulate the space. Next, Gemini told CNBC exclusively that the firm has been awarded crypto registration to launch its services in France. The crypto exchange, which was founded by twins Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, said it was approved in 2020. And what
have quite a bit of demand.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You didn't need to do the 10 Ron, but I was looking at the OBS and I didn't see the pings. Let me pull up the YouTube. Aha! There we go. Jump up and down. So what I was saying, anyways, before I was muted, I was looking at the live chat. The video sucked because it only gave us 2 seconds of it. So Massless Ninja said, how long will till Salt or Son of a Tech mines with the MSI claw? Chair says, Steve is great. I watch videos for a chance to watch his hair get stuck in a fan. And I was saying that my wife loves his hair. Gamers Next is Steve. Retro Mike is saying, oh gosh, I sent those rigs pre-tuned. He's going to mess something up. Also saying that he told Red Panda Mine to use TL14 8GB RAM sticks for optimum random X mining. Everybody else wants smoke and fire during the Red Panda mining stream. Crypto Craig, you will see it eventually if he doesn't use breakout board to connect CPU connector. So they're looking for smoke and fire, Red Panda. That's what they want. They want smoke and fire. Nerd Beast, do you know if SATA M.2 SSDs are okay replacement for USB drives for Hive OS rigs? Thanks for your help. Yes, but I wouldn't waste good money on a really good M.2. Like I wouldn't go Gen 4, Gen 5, NVMe SSD. on that stuff. I'll probably go basic bitch SSD M.2, right? Like the gum stick shape, the normal M.2 shape, but regular SSD speeds. You don't really need a lot to go really fast. And if you haven't checked out on the channel, there was this EEPROM or EEP or this little device that I connected via USB 2.0 header that is ECC memory. It's a 8 gigabyte flash that is, I don't even have an SSD or 2.5 inch or M.2 connected to the motherboard at all. It's literally this little guy. It's about this big that connects to the USB 2 connector, and that's it. And this guy is really good because if those cosmic rays comes through, it doesn't crash the system or anything like that. And the only reason I did that is even though I may not get hit with cosmic rays a lot with these highly radioactive or highly charged infinitesimal, can't see them at all particles, my AMD rig was experiencing a lot of restarts in my mining. But once I put that on there, it stopped. Not sure if that solved the problem, but yeah, it was really crazy. Technical difficulty, says Red Panda Mining in his live stream, so we'll give him a little bit more time. But yeah, check out that video. Actually, let's go look for it real quick while I wait for Red Panda Mining. I forgot what it's called. I got the idea from Emily from Linus Tech Tips. I don't want to dead name them out of respect because they are very knowledgeable. But let's see here. Let's go to my channel. What was it called? SSD. I've done a lot of SSD reviews. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? It's a little micro guy. Very, very small. Very infinitesimal. I'm pretty sure it was related to my AMD rig, but I don't know if I could. Right here. Micron E230. As Hive OS drive. Most reliable. And let's take a look at it. Very, very small. Right? So there it is. Very, very small. And it connects via USB 2 to the motherboard. And see if I got a... Do I have a picture of it? No, I probably don't have a picture of it installed. But yeah, I got it from Emily on Linus Tech Tips. And talked about how the universe is hostile to computers. And ever since I did that, it worked out. However, the Micron, let's go here, eBay, Micron E230. Micron E230 might be too expensive. And then a regular M.2 SSD will work just fine. See, that's only 2 gigabytes, though. You want 8 gigabytes. There it is, right there. So, NetApp Micron Real SSD E230 8 gigabyte SSD boot module. It's $40 right now. Not bad. Right? SATA 6 or something like that. Super cheap. Yep. Compare that, because it's only 8 gigabytes. But this will mitigate if you live in the northern side, or maybe let's say you live in Antarctica, right, where the atmosphere or the magnetosphere, right, because you have the why am I blanking out? The magnetism, what is it called? The magnetosphere, right? Isn't it the magnetosphere protecting the planet from solar rays and the universal particles? Magnetic field, right? The magnetic field is weakest at the north, or towards the north and towards the south. If you're in those regions and you're seeing your system restart and you're like, man, it's my overclocks, and you've been sitting there, you're tuning, and your GPUs are running fine on one system but not another, or something's going on, you might actually be getting bombarded with cosmic elements, and that might be what's causing your system to restart. That may have not been the case for me here in Florida, right? Where I'm near the equator and probably in the biggest section of the magnetic protection we have. But ever since I put this on my AMD rig, it doesn't restart anymore. I have one GPU that caused restarts, the 590 mixed in with 6,000 series and 5,000 series. And the issue is that as we progress, it seems that we're lagging behind in updating drivers with compatibility to have all of these different GPUs, right? I got a wide range of GPUs. The 590, the 580, the 480, the 470 isn't as profound, or isn't as, when they update the drivers, they're not looking to update those. So yeah, my mixed rig is having issues because of the 590, not because of anything else. But before that, it was just stupid. It was just restarting all the damn time. So when I put that in there, it stopped. So, I mean, consider it, but I wouldn't go buying it because it's only $40 for the little guy. And it looks like Red Panda's gone live. But if we go to PC Part Picker before I let you go, if we go to PC Part Picker, let's get some additional storage. Let's sort by price. Right, we could get 120 gigabytes for like $12. Let's see here. Patriot Burst Elite, $120, or 120 gigabytes for $13. Like, that's the better deal to me, right? Turn off logging of your USB saves writes. Yeah, dude. We're getting bombarded with radioactive gamma radiation, all kinds of stuff all the time. Magnetosphere, yep. Nah, it's crappy Canadian power. Yeah, we're used to it because we're here on Earth, right? We've been on Earth for a while. If I were to take your body and put you in space and have a protective shell around you, right? And you lived there and generations of children came after you and stuff like that, and I took those children and I put them back on Earth, they probably would actually get hurt by the sun's UV, by the ultraviolet rays, by the radioactiveness of the Earth. That, you know, like, we've grown to the tolerance we are today, right? Through generations and generations of living on this Earth. So yeah, it's a really neat thing to know about. I like it. I'm into space, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. But anyways, Red Panda Mining is live. Go ahead over there. Thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you so much. Do me a favor though, on the way out, hit the like button, make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description, like that article that I mentioned earlier today that I would challenge you to go read, and have yourself a great day, right? Love you. Take care. I'll catch you next one.